Welcome to our Rethink Play Chats. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Tamara. And today we're going to talk about dance as an emotional playground.
I'd have to say, since this has been the bulk of my work of my life, that of all the emotional playgrounds that we speak to, that dance tends to make people feel the most hesitant at first. It tends to evoke a lot of nerves. It makes us, exactly. And I think for very good reason. We have a lot of stereotypes in our culture about what a dancer should look like, what type of bodies a dancer should have.
And that there's even a dancer.
Exactly.
As opposed to a human who dances.
Exactly. But we don't have that in other art forms. Like in art, there's all sorts of types of people can engage in art and drama, but we have this very narrow, rigid idea that dance is about performance, it's about perfection, it's about thinness, it's about ability. And therefore we have all these self-consciousness that can be evoked. And I think it's important to address that right away. Otherwise we might not feel like it's for us or for our children or for our students. And therefore we lose this incredible gift that nature gave us. Since the dawn of time we have danced. It is just in us, just like music and like what we just talked about. It is in us to move. Yeah, to move. And it is, we still see this to this day. This is why we still have dances, even for adults, where we have a letting go of thought and the music's on and then this visceral pairing of music and body, which you're not even thinking about what to do, but your body knows what to do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Exactly. Oh, it totally makes sense. It's
your
just
body's
you tap into something.
Your body's moving to something. Exactly. And when we're able to let go of this narrow, rigid, judgmental side of what dance unfortunately has often become, it's absolutely extraordinary to see the change that can come through using this as an emotional playground, because so many of us naturally want to move our bodies. It's a lot of the problems we even see in schools is because kids are can't move their bodies. That's right. So when we lean into it, when we lean into the moving of their bodies, it's absolutely extraordinary what can happen because dance is it's a communication. It's a way of sharing something through the senses. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't even have to be complicated. It can just even be putting on music and
allowing yourself to move with it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just had an experience. Just reminds me of when I was trying to find the right dance program to do, and I was looking, and all it did was, and some of you may relate to this, was make me feel just foolish and more self-conscious because I couldn't follow the moves. And I realized, what am I trying to do here? I want to make room for movement. So for dance, so put on music. I did. You put on music and
exactly.
And you let it move, and you lift that mentality of it having to be the right way. Here's that ish again, right? Where it's like you're making some space, because this is all something from young children to us as adults to.
And here, and here's the thing, Tamara, is that like young children, this is how they naturally learn. Like if you look at how children learn when they're not in the classroom, they're touching, feeling, moving, dancing. This is just who we are. And somewhere along our lives, our culture shuts off that. But we're still that person. It's just been shut off, if that makes sense. And so if we're able to make space in safe ways, like when I'm working in I mean, it's in simple ways. In my family, I do it just by turning on music when I'm doing the dishes.
Right.
And then
we do that too.
I just naturally just kind of, and my kids might tease me like, "Mom, what you doing?" Depending on their age, right?
Everyone's up there.
But eventually, even seeing me, eventually people just kind of move a little bit, and it becomes a way of getting our bodies, which
some freedom in it.
Yeah, in this culture, we're not moving our bodies in the way that is human to us. It is natural, if that makes sense. And in classrooms, I do really simple ways, like even just putting on music and reading a story out loud, but music's on as the backdrop and I'm in a gym.
Right.
They could act out the story through movement. Even like, I remember doing Millicent and the Wind, for example. I'm reading Millicent and the Wind, and then it was windy, and then all the kids are dancing like wind. And then the wind went down, and they all got into a little ball, and then the wind came back up, but I have music on. That's holding a container. I don't have to be a dance teacher to do that. I just have to be able to read a book and put on some music and the kids follow along without it being steps. They're following along the story.
Right.
But the music, without even me telling them to dance it, the music brings it out in them. I don't even have to say we're dancing.
That's the piece. The music brings it out in them, and it moves something inside, then it's allowed to physically move.
Because it becomes bigger, and they're expressing, they're moving their arms up, and they're rolling on the floor, and they're doing all these things. But I'm not saying it's dance time. They're not feeling self-conscious because I didn't say we were even dancing.
Yeah, that's self-conscious.
I put on the music, and I just read a simple story, or I even tell a thing. One day it was windy, and then it was this, and then it was that, and then their bodies are doing all these things. And the music encourages them to fall into that. So it's dance is one of those beautiful things that I think maybe I'll just end on this, is that I started by talking about how vulnerable it is. And it's probably of all the art forms, the one that makes us most feel vulnerable. But that's also its gift.
Yeah.
Is that it makes us feel so vulnerable. And so when we're able to hold safe spaces, whether it's in our living rooms where we just put on music, or whether it's in our kitchens while we're dancing, or safe ways in the classrooms with stories, or whatever it is, if we can hold those spaces, that's its gift.
Yeah.
It helps us feel.
Those vulnerable things.
Exactly. Okay, so if you want to follow, listen to more of our Rethink Play chats, you can head to rethinkplayproject.com and check out what we've got there.
See you next time.
Yeah, see you soon.